This is TechCrunch.
The hacking group Scattered Lapsus Hunters, which includes members of a gang known as Shiny Hunters, said it is attempting to extort porn site Pornhub after claiming to have stolen personal information belonging to the website's premium members. Pornhub confirmed last week that it was among several companies affected by an earlier breach at the widely used web and mobile analytics provider, Mixpanel, which exposed unspecified analytics events of some Pornhub premium users. On Monday, Bleeping Computer reported seeing a sample of the stolen Pornhub data, which included personal information associated with Pornhub premium members, including their registered email addresses and location, activity type, such as which videos and channels they watched, including the video name and web address, keywords associated with the video, and the date and time that the event was recorded. Mixpanel Chief Executive Jen Taylor did not respond to TechCrunch's request for comment. A Pornhub spokesperson who did not provide their full name did not answer questions sent by TechCrunch about the incident, referring us instead to the company's published statement. A spokesperson for the Shiny Hunters gang told TechCrunch that the hackers have sent an extortion email only to Pornhub so far and declined to say how many other companies were part of the Mixpanel incident. Right before the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving, Mixpanel revealed a breach that it discovered on November 8th, which affected its corporate customers, without saying which ones nor how they were affected. OpenAI later confirmed it was one of those affected customers, as well as Cointracker and Swissborg. According to Mixpanel's website, the company has around 8,000 customers, with each customer having potentially millions of users whose data was taken in the breach. The type of data stolen likely depends on how each customer configured their Mixpanel account to collect data. Generally speaking, companies use Mixpanel to track what their users do on their site or apps, similar to an app developer or website owner watching over a user's shoulder to learn what they click, view, or swipe. Mixpanel can also log information about the user's devices, such as the size of the screen, whether they are on Wi-Fi or a cellular network, and the name of the carrier, among other data. Scattered Lapsus Hunters is a coalition of primarily English-speaking hackers who are believed to be in Western countries. The hackers have a long history of data breaches and are responsible for some of the largest hacks this year, including data thefts targeting Salesforce and Gainsight customers, which affected hundreds of companies. Also on Friday, SoundCloud confirmed that about 20% of its users were affected by unauthorized activity in an ancillary service dashboard, likely referring to Mixpanel. The audio streaming giant said the stolen data includes email addresses and information already visible on public SoundCloud profiles. Cashmere sweaters are everywhere these days, often at unbelievably low prices. The appeal is obvious. If you've ever worn cashmere, you know it's soft, light, and warm. An impressive fiber that's hard to give up. Unfortunately, those bargain prices usually come with a catch. Cashmere comes from the fine undercoat of a handful of goat breeds. Typically, one goat will be sheared twice a year, producing just 4 to 6 ounces of cashmere annually. That's not a lot of supply for a growing market. Sim Gulati, co-founder and CEO of Everbloom, told TechCrunch, "The producers of raw materials are actually under a lot of stress. What you're seeing now, especially with the advent of $50 cashmere sweaters, is that they're being sheared way more often. The quality of the fiber is not as good, and it's creating unsustainable herding practices. Rather than try to change herding practices or convince consumers to only buy high-quality cashmere, Gulati and his team at Everbloom had a different idea. The startup, which has raised over $8 million from investors including Hoxton Ventures and SOSV, set out to create an upcycled material that's nearly indistinguishable from the real thing. To do this, Everbloom has created a material science AI called Braid.ai. The model can fine-tune various parameters to create fibers with different qualities. Cashmere is one target, but so are other materials widely used in the textile industry. At its core, Everbloom's process is the same regardless of the final product. To make its material, the company currently collects waste from across the fiber supply chain, including cashmere and wool farms and mills, as well as down-bedding suppliers. In the future, it plans to expand to other waste sources, including feathers from the poultry industry. These waste streams share one thing in common: they're all made of keratin, the key protein that underpins Everbloom's process. The company then chops the waste to size and combines it with proprietary compounds. The mix is pressed through a plastic extrusion machine, which shapes material by forcing it through a die, and the pellets that come out the other end are fed through spinning machines that are normally used to produce polyester fiber. Gulati said that equipment is used for 80% of the textile market. You have to be a drop-in replacement. To transform waste into new fiber, all of the necessary chemical reactions occur within those two machines. Everbloom can create fibers that replicate everything from polyester to cashmere by using its AI to tweak the formulation and how the two machines process it. The startup said every fiber it produces should be biodegradable, even the polyester replacement. Gulati said, "All the components that we're using are biodegradable," adding that his company is currently running its products through accelerated testing to prove the hypothesis. And because Everbloom uses waste products, the environmental impact will be dramatically lower. Plus, it should be cheaper. "We want it to be more economically viable for brands and consumers," Gulati said. "I don't believe in a sustainable premium. The idea that eco-friendly products should cost more. In order for a material to be successful, both in the supply chain and for the consumer, you have to have both a product benefit and an economic benefit to everyone who touches the product. That's what we're aiming for." That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.